As requested by Movie Club member Simon over on my Patreon, here is my review of Chuck Steele, Night of the Trampires. Chuck Steele is a renegade lone wolf cop who lives on the edge and plays by his own rules. He's the kind of cop who rides a motorcycle out of a helicopter to do battle with a small army of ninjas on a rooftop and doesn't even break a sweat, slaying them all. Steele always gets his man, even when teamed with a wet-behind-the-ears rookie partner, or despite the constant badgering of his loudmouth captain, or the get-in-touch-with-your-feelings department shrink who's pushing papers all day while he's out there on the streets risking his life on a daily basis. Sounds like an 80s action flick, doesn't it? Well, Chuck Steele embodies everything that was so great about those beloved, but unfortunately problematic by today's standards movies. But there's more. You see, Jack has just discovered that his city is overrun with trampires. What are trampires, you ask? It's not what you're thinking. They're vampires, all right, but they only thirst for human blood if it has a very high alcohol content. They sleep in cardboard boxes and roam alleys by night in search of drunken people to feed off of who are leaving restaurants, bars, or nightclubs. And the most reliable way to kill a trampire is to drive a stake directly into their liver. Luckily for Chuck, a veteran trampire killer by the name of Abraham Van Rentel explains all of this to him and us. The goal of the master trampire is to create a lockdown-type scenario in which all of humanity becomes detached from one another, we become depressed, we turn to booze, and then the trampires will feast. Chuck Steele, Night of the Trampires is the brainchild of Mike Mort, who wrote, directed, designed the creatures for, and gave voice to Chuck Steele. It's an ambitious, over-the-top, and high-octane stop-motion animated film. A reported 425 puppets were created, representing hundreds of different characters, and then shot in 24 frames per second. The production required the services of a 24,000-square-foot facility. Mort is clearly a fan of 80s action flicks, and stuffs Night of the Trampires to the gills with archetypal characters, sight gags, and pithy puns. For instance, Steele's long-suffering captain is of the foul-mouthed and perpetually blood pressure elevated variety. And Steele butts heads while secretly lusting after the department shrink, who just wants everybody to get in touch with their feelings. And the kind of therapy sessions she provides has some rather amusing results on the men of the department. Mort does manage to take those familiar cliches and provide an updated and unexpected spin to some of them, keeping you on your toes just when you think you've got things figured out. The design of the puppets are really cool. Each trampire has its own unique look. Some are more vampiric, while some are zombie-like in appearance. The Master Trampire in its final form looks like something out of Peter Jackson's Dead Alive, aka Brain Dead. And the sheer number of puppets on screen, particularly during the final act, is impressive, especially considering the painstaking process it had to take to capture everything. All the miniature sets are also impeccably crafted. The production design here is absolutely top-notch, and the action sequences are also incredibly well done, with an emphasis on extreme splatter. Yes, the soundtrack is rockin' with what sounds like tracks from the cassettes of any number of 80s metal bands. What's that? You want to know if there's a hero montage? Of course there is. More than one. In fact. On the downside, the movie does go on a bit too long and gets a little too chaotic for its own good toward the end. Still, Chuck Steele, Night of the Trampires is a highly entertaining, occasionally clever, and always fun time. I recommend it. Huge shout out to Movie Club member Simon over on my Patreon for requesting that I review Chuck Steele, Night of the Trampires. Thank you for your review request, and thank you for being a patron. I appreciate your support. If there's a movie you'd like me to review, follow the link in the description or head over to patreon.com/pizowell and join the movie club today. If you've seen Chuck Steele, Night of the Trampires, please let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Thank you to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and have a say in what content appears on my channel. Join me for monthly live streams and much more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.